Hey, hey, never fear, Snake is here. Sunday Cigar Time. Greetings from St. Augustine, Florida. Once again, bringing encouragement to you from my little corner of the world. Today, I encourage you to flourish. Now, that's a word we don't hear too much anymore, I think. To the dictionary. From time to time, I like to look up dictionary meanings of words. It sometimes helps to really increase our understanding. A couple of definitions of flourish: to achieve success or to prosper, to grow luxuriantly, to thrive. I really like this one. To grow or develop in a healthy or vigorous way, especially as the result of a particularly favorable environment. More on that in a moment. Now, the word flourish is important to me, and I was inspired to do this topic today because of a gift that Mrs. Snake and I got for ourselves this past Thursday. A lot of you know that we celebrated our 26th wedding anniversary. Still getting comments on my Facebook post. Thank you. Well, we did sort of a staycation overnight here in St. Augustine. After a great lunch with our bishop and his wife, we were doing some shopping. Mrs. Snake, the gracious and curvaceous Kim, said that she wanted to get this wall hanging. I hadn't really heard of it. We went into this store. I think it's called the best gift idea ever. And what you do is you can make words out of pictures and then frame them and put them up on your wall. In other words, you might have a picture of a bunch of seashells on a beach that spell out a certain letter, or a palm tree for an I, a swan's head and neck as an S, that sort of thing. I thought, okay, well, what word do we use? And I'm thinking, faith, trust. And she said, what's that word that was so important to you when we moved here? And I said, flourish. A quick story. 10 years ago, summer of 2010, we were actively engaged in praying and thinking and planning and deciding whether or not we're going to move to St. Augustine from Connecticut. And 3 different times the word flourish popped up on my radar screen. God works in threes: Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Death, burial, resurrection. Sometimes he talks to me and I get confirmation in threes. The word flourish had popped out, I think, in a Joel Osteen book I was reading. Then in a conversation with a pastor in Connecticut, he talked about Kim moving here, and he said, she'll flourish. I caught it. And then I'm reading Psalm 92:12 in my Bible. And there it says, the righteous flourish like the palm tree and grow like a cedar in Lebanon. What is Florida full of palm trees, which happens to be my most favorite thing on the planet. I've got 2 palm trees right here, out here in my yard. I love palm trees, and I knew I had my inspiration. So we made the word flourish on this wall hanging. Now, that's a word we don't often think about, and a concept I think we think about even less. I was reminded when I read that definition of being in a particularly favorable environment. Say particularly 3 times fast. That's what I have at City Gates Church, and we had a great weekend. We hosted an event. Had a lot of folks that were there from out of state stayed this morning for church, and we are in a favorable environment. I realized how much that I am and my family have flourished in the last 3 years. It's good to take note of these things from time to time. Now, what about you? Especially in this crazy year of 2020, are you flourishing? Are you growing? We often think of our flower garden or our vegetable garden flourishing. I don't think we think about that of ourselves. Right? Have you been in survival mode like a lot of us during this craziness of 2020? You even think in long terms in terms of yourself flourishing, or your family growing, actively thriving, succeeding. There's an abundance attached to that word flourish. And once again, I think it's so easy to get in survival mode, and life is kicking you in the teeth, that sometimes we need to just take a step back and go, wait a minute. This is happening over here. That's a really positive area of my life. I'm working again. And I think they're seeing me in a different light over here. Or this is happening, that is happening. There is growth. There is flourishing going on. I encourage you to put this word flourish in your mindset. Make it something that pops up on your radar, and even more so, something that you wish to attain for yourself and your family. I encourage you to flourish. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Hit the like button, share the video. Someone you know needs to see and hear the video. I will see you next week. Take care. God bless.